When you hear the word genius, one face instantly appears in your mind. The ultimate Renaissance man, Leonardo da Vinci. We are taught from a very young age that he was an unparalleled visionary, a man whose mind operated centuries ahead of his time. We marvel at his secret notebooks, filled with sketches of flying machines, armored tanks, and intricate mechanical robots. Mainstream history tells us that in the late 15th century, a spontaneous explosion of European intellect occurred, and Da Vinci was its brightest star. But what if the foundation of the Renaissance is built on a monumental historical cover-up? What if the iconic blueprints that made Leonardo a legend were not born in his mind, but were quietly lifted from a master engineer who lived 300 years before him in a completely different part of the world? Today, we are opening a forbidden chapter of history. We are going to track a massive, centuries-long pipeline of stolen intellectual property. We will reveal how the secret origins of modern machinery, robotics, and engineering do not trace back to Florence, Italy, but to the dusty, sun-baked courtyards of 12th century Mesopotamia. Get ready to meet the true mastermind behind the machines. The man whose name was erased from Western textbooks, yet who rightfully holds the title of the father of robotics, Ismail al-Jazari. To understand the scale of this historical theft, we must travel back to the year 1206. While Europe was plunging through the Dark Ages, plagued by disease, superstition, and crude technology, the Islamic Golden Age was reaching its absolute zenith. In the Artukid Palace in Anatolia, a brilliant polymath named Ismail al-Jazari was serving as the chief engineer. He was not a philosopher dealing in abstract thoughts. He was a master mechanic, a man who bent metal, water, and gears to his absolute will. In 1206, al-Jazari published his magnum opus, the Book of Knowledge of Ingenious Mechanical Devices. This was not a book of theoretical fantasies. It was a highly detailed, brilliantly illustrated, step-by-step engineering manual. It contained the blueprints for over 100 revolutionary machines. And the technology inside this book was so advanced, it defies everything we are taught about the medieval world. Al-Jazari invented the first programmable humanoid robots. He built a floating mechanical boat carrying a band of robotic musicians that would play different rhythms to entertain the royal court. The secret? A rotating wooden drum with pegs that triggered the instruments. By moving the pegs, the rhythm changed. This is the exact same binary logic used in early computers, invented 7 centuries before the digital age. He designed complex water-raising machines using gears and hydropower to irrigate entire cities. He created the legendary elephant clock, a breathtaking mechanical masterpiece powered by water technology that celebrated the diversity of the world, combining Indian, Egyptian, Persian, and Chinese design elements into a single, perfectly synchronized machine. But the most critical inventions hidden within al-Jazari's book are the invisible mechanisms that drive our modern world today. He was the first to conceptualize and use the camshaft. He perfected the crankshaft, the crucial mechanism that converts rotary motion into linear motion. Every single car engine, every steam train, every heavy industrial machine that powered the Industrial Revolution relies entirely on the crankshaft. History books credit European engineers of the 18th century for this mechanism. It is a lie. The blueprint was drawn by al-Jazari in 1206. So, how does a mastermind in Anatolia connect to Leonardo da Vinci in Italy 300 years later? This is where the narrative of the Renaissance becomes dark and deeply compromised. We are told the Renaissance was a sudden rebirth of classical Greek and Roman knowledge. But knowledge does not teleport. It travels through highly guarded, physical channels. Following the Crusades and the expansion of massive trade routes, particularly through the powerful merchants of Venice, a massive influx of Arabic and Islamic texts flooded into Europe. Cities like Toledo in Spain and Venice in Italy became massive translation hubs. European scholars and monks feverishly translated Arabic books on mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and engineering into Latin. During this massive transfer of knowledge, something disturbing happened. The scientific principles were absorbed, but the names of the original Muslim inventors were often erased, altered, or simply ignored. It was a systematic laundering of intellectual property. When we look closely at Leonardo da Vinci's famous Codex Atlanticus, the glaring similarities become impossible to ignore. Da Vinci's sketches of water-powered machines, his use of segmental gears, his complex pumping mechanisms, and even his conceptual designs for automata bear a striking, almost mathematical resemblance to the exact blueprints published by al-Jazari 3 centuries prior. Is it possible that Da Vinci, an undeniably brilliant artist and observer, independently invented the exact same complex mechanical configurations? Perhaps. But the historical evidence points to a much more practical reality. Da Vinci had access to the elite libraries of Italy. He was known to collect and study translated manuscripts. It is highly probable, if not historically certain, that the translated works of al-Jazari's ingenious mechanical devices were circulating in the secretive, high-end intellectual circles of Renaissance Italy. Da Vinci did what any brilliant engineer does. He studied the masterworks of those who came before him. He synthesized, adapted, and beautifully sketched these ancient Eastern mechanisms for his European patrons. The crime is not that Da Vinci studied al-Jazari. The crime is that Western history decided to forget al-Jazari entirely, crowning Leonardo as the sole, mystical creator of these machines. Think about the psychological impact of this erasure. For centuries, the West has maintained a narrative of intellectual supremacy. The story of Da Vinci, the lone genius, fits perfectly into that narrative. It suggests that complex machinery and the seeds of the modern world were exclusively European phenomena. But the physical evidence left behind by Ismail al-Jazari shatters that illusion completely. The camshafts, the robotic musicians, the programmable drums. They are not Italian. They belong to the golden sands and the brilliant minds of the East. When we look at a modern engine, or a robotic assembly line, or even the programmable logic of the device you are watching this video on, we are not just looking at the legacy of the European Industrial Revolution. We are looking directly into the brilliant, forgotten mind of a 12th century Muslim engineer. It is time to rewrite the textbooks. It is time to return the crown of robotics to its rightful owner. Leonardo da Vinci gave us the Mona Lisa, but Ismail al-Jazari gave us the blueprint for the modern machine. History is only a mystery until you look in the right places. And the truth has been hiding in plain sight, waiting in the pages of an ancient book for over 800 years.